Narayana namaskrityam.
Narayana namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tado jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 17. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all the Vaishnavas. Sautye vrutaha kumati natmada Ishvaro me yat pada padma bhavaya bhajanti bhavyaha mam shrantavahmarayo rathino bhuvishtam na praharan yadanubhava nirasta chittaha. Pratipadarthapi? Yes?
Yes.
Or we are waiting for Mataji.
Yeah, so I think this is a different meter. Maybe Path Prabhuji, can you teach us the meter?
Yes, totally.
Can you teach us the meter, because we want to learn how to recite
yes.
this?
I'll try. Yes, Mataji, I can try. Okay, so chapter Canto 1, chapter 15 and text number 17. Okay. Shaute Bruta Kumatin Atmada Ishwara me.
Saute Vrita Kumatinatmada Ishvaro me.
Shaute Bruta Kumatin Atmada Ishwara me.
Saute Vrita Kumatinatmada Ishvaro me.
Yatpada Padmam Abhavaya Bhajanti Bhavya.
Yatpada Padmam Abhaya
bhajanti bhavyaha.
Yatpada Padmam Abhayaya Bhajanti Bhavya.
Yatpada Padmam Abhavaya Bhajanti Bhavya.
Mangsrantavahamarayorathina bhuvishtam.
Mamsrantavaham arahoratino bhuvistam.
Mamsrantavaham arayorathina bhuvishtam.
Mamsrantavaham arahoratino bhuvistam.
Na praharan yaduna bhavani anubhavani rasta chitta.
Napraharan vadanubhavanishcharat.
Na praharan yadu anubhavani rasta chitta.
Napraharan yad
Bhava nirasta chittaha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
One more
Mataji.
time, Prabhu. Can we do together, please? Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yes. Sautye Bruta Kumatinatmada Ishvara me.
Saute Vrita Kumatanatma Ishvaro me.
Yatpada Padmam Abhavaya Bhajanti Bhavyaha.
Yatapada Padmam Abhavaya
bhajanti bhavyaha.
Mam Srantavaharorathina bhuvishtam.
Mam
Shrantavaham arayoratino bhuvistam.
Na praharan yaduna anubhava nirasta chittaha.
Na praharan yadanubhavanesh.
nirasta chittaha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for teaching us the meter. Mataji, would you like to do the word to word?
Hare Krishna. Sautye, regarding a chariot driver, Vritaha, engaged, Kumatina, by bad consciousness, Atmada, one who delivers, Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, may, my, yat, though, whose, Pada Padmam, lotus feet, Abhavaya, in the matter of salvation, Bhajanti, do render service, Bhavya, the intelligent class of men, Mam, unto me, Shranta, thirsty, Vaham, my horses, Araya, the enemies, Ratina, a great general, Bhuvistam, while standing on the ground, Na, did not, Praharan, attack, Yat Anubhava, mercy, Mirasta, being absent, Chittaha, mind. It was by his mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared engage him as my chariot driver, for he is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Please accept our humble obeisances
Hare Krishna.
on behalf of everybody who have joined this group and are about to join. Mataji, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 1, Chapter 15, which is the Pandavas retire timely. And the text for today is 17. I know, Mataji, you had to do 18, but yesterday we couldn't do 17 due to some reason. So if you can help us with 17 and then continue with the text for today. Even if we don't do the last one, we can continue. Hare Krishna.
We will do that. 1 minute, Mataji. I'll just get the book. Yeah. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayane Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaurati Namaha Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Brahmana Hitaya Jagataya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Narayanam Namaskrityam, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jayam Mudire, Srinivata Swagata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, Hridayanta Saudya Bhadrani, Vidunuti Sugritsatam, Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Seviya, Bhagavati Uttama Sloke, Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. So okay. Anyways, I'm not able to find the book. That's okay. So let's just go through the translations till now, and then get started with our today's verse, so we are able to get the flow. Sutta Goswami said, Arjuna, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief-stricken because of a strong feeling of separation from Krishna over and above all Maharaj Yudhishthira's speculative inquiries. Due to grief, Arjuna's mouth and lotus-like heart had dried up. Therefore, his body lost all the luster. Now, remembering the Supreme Lord, he could hardly utter a word in reply. With great difficulty, he checked the tears and grief that smeared his eyes. He was distressed because Lord Krishna was out of sight, and he increasingly felt the affection for him. Remembering Lord Krishna and his well wishes, benefactions, intimate familial relationships, and his chariot driving, Arjuna, overwhelmed and breathing very heavily, began to speak. Arjuna said, "O king, the supreme personality of Godhead, Hari, who treated me exactly like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Thus my astounding power, which astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me. I've just lost him, whose separation for a moment would render all the universes unfavorable and void like bodies without life. Only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the place of King Drupada for the selection of bridegroom. With my bow and arrow, I could pierce the fish target and thereby gain the hand of Draupadi. Because he was near me, it was possible for me to conquer with great dexterity the powerful king of heaven, Indradeva, along with his demigod associates, and thus enable the fire god to devastate the Kandava forest. And only by his grace was the demon named Maya saved from the blazing Kandava forest. And thus we could build our house, our assembly house of wonderful architectural workmanship, where all the princes assembled during the performance of Rajasuya Yajna and paid you tributes. It's all because of him. He's glorifying Krishna line by line, word by word. He's just not able to get over the fact that he's no longer with him anymore. Your respectable younger brother, who possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace Jarasandha, whose feet was worshipped by many kings. These kings had been brought for sacrifice in Jarasandha's Mahabhairava Yajna, but they were all released. Later, they paid tribute to your majesty. So, that incident is spoken, Jarasandha's incident. It was only he who loosened the hair of all the wives of the Miscreants, who dared upon the cluster of queen's hair, which had been nicely dressed and sanctified for the great Rajasuya sacrificial ceremony. At that time, she fell down at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and tears started to come out of her eyes. This is also how Krishna, I know he takes Dasavatara, multiple incarnations, so many incarnations. His incarnations are all countless. But look at this incarnation with regards to Draupadi, where he comes in the form of Vastra for Draupadi, right? This is the Leela that Krishna is just showing and melting our hearts by this Leela. And then during our exile, Durvasa Muni, who eats with 10,000 disciples, intrigued with our enemies to put us in dangerous trouble. At that time, Lord Krishna, simply by accepting the remnants of the food, saved us. By his accepting food, thus the assembly of Munis, while bathing in the river, felt sumptuously fed. And all the three worlds, they were also satisfied. That is why, dear devotees, we are supposed to satisfy Krishna. When we satisfy Krishna, all other things that we need to satisfy in this world is taken care of. Everything, everybody will be satisfied when we have that unalloyed mood of devotion to Lord Krishna. All others, that we have to satisfy, they will all be satisfied. This is the principle that we have to work out. And then it was by his influence only that in a fight, I was able to astonish the personality of Godhead Shiva and his wife, the daughter of Mount Himalaya. Thus, Lord Shiva became pleased with me and awarded me his own weapon. Other demigods also delivered their respectful weapons to me. And in addition, I was able to reach the heavenly planets in this present body and was allowed a half-elevated seat. Then, when I stayed for some days as a guest in the heavenly planets, all the heavenly demigods, including the king Indradeva, took shelter of my arms, which were marked with Gandiva bow to kill the demon named Nivataka Kavacha. O king, descendant of Ajamida, at present moment, I am bereft of the supreme personality of Godhead, by whose influence I was so powerful. The military strength of the Kauravas was like an ocean in which there dwelled many invincible existence, and thus it was insurmountable. But because of his friendship, I, seated on the chariot, was able to cross over it. And only by his grace, I was able to regain the cause and also collect by force many helmets of the kings, which were bedecked with jewels that were the source of his brilliance, that was source of all brilliance. It was only he who withdrew the duration of life from everyone in the battlefield, withdrew the speculative power, the strength of enthusiasm from great military planks made by Kauravas, headed by Bhishma, Karna, Drona, and Salya. The arrangement was expert and more than adequate, but he, Lord Krishna, while going forward, did all this. Great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishra, Salya, Jayadratha, Balika, all directed their invincible weapons against me. But by his Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch the hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Nrsimhadev, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. So now coming to our purport, dear devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's try to understand a bit of the purport that is given, and then we'll also try to go over the theme that is being talked about here. Okay. All right. It was only by his mercy, only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared to engage him as my chariot driver, for he is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation. Now, coming to the purport, dear devotees. So very important points are being talked about here, where, again, if you look at Arjuna, he has a Aishwarya Bhav towards Krishna. Of course, he has Sakya Bhav, and that means Sakya means friendship. So he has friendly relationship with Lord Krishna, but that is tinged with Aishwarya. Okay, so there is a difference, right? We all know there is Madhurya and there is Aishwarya. So the Madhurya is sweetness, intimate, enjoying the intimate sweetness of Lord Krishna as Madhurya, where the gopis, they have Madhurya Rasa with Lord Krishna. Vatsalya Rasa is Mother Yashoda. She has Vatsalya Rasa. And everything here is not tinged by Aishwarya. This is the difference, dear devotees, we need to understand in terms of the relationship that Krishna experiences with his devotees, whether it is tinged with Aishwarya or is it tinged with, or it is not at all tinged with Aishwarya. That is something we need to understand. So the mood of Arjuna here is portrayed such a way that he is having that friendly relationship with Krishna, but at the same time, it is tinged with Aishwarya. All right. So that is the mood we have to now realize into our hearts as well, as we go through these stories that Arjuna will be sharing now. He's saying, the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the object of worship both by impersonalists and by the devotees of the Lord. So we all know, right? The impersonalists, they worship the Brahman form of the Lord. That means the impersonalists, they worship the effulgence of the Lord that is emanating from his transcendental body, right? Again, this is what they worship. So when it comes to Brahman realization, they do not understand, oh, Lord has pastimes, Lord has qualities, his transcendental body is Satchidananda. They are not able to get to that understanding. But they understand, oh, okay, if I have to realize Brahman, and that means I have to merge in the body of the Lord. This is how I will get Brahman realization. And by merging with Brahman, there is no more sorrows for me. There is no more miseries. Why we don't want this material world? The material world is dukkalema shashvatam. I don't want this material world because, it is filled with dualities. One time I'm happy, another moment I'm sad. What is the point? So in order to just be happy all the time, let me merge in the body of the Lord. This is what the impersonalist thinks. And he wants to merge in the Lord's body through that process of Brahman realization. That means, why can't they worship the Supreme Lord who is Satchidananda, who has the name, qualities and form? Why are they not doing it? The answer to that question is, they have not developed that devotional maturity like all of you devotees. That devotional maturity is needed. Really, when we are looking at the Brahmavadis, they don't have that realization. They don't know about it. They are not able to perceive, oh, Lord can have qualities, because according to them, they are thinking, see, if somebody has a form, that means they have to go through miseries. So Lord is above all that. So he has to be formless. That is their perception. If it is black, then there is black or white. There's nothing in between for them. That is why, we have a form. That is only humans have a form. If you have to go beyond the forms, then only you can be beyond the modes. Like that they think. So that is why they worship the formless. That is their perception, and they haven't got that devotional maturity yet for them to realize that Lord is Sachidananda. All right. So now moving to the next sentence. Those who are below the impersonalists consider him to be a historical personality. They don't even consider, they consider, oh yeah, he's a figure of the past, like that, who are below the, because that much devotional maturity only they have. Okay. So they don't have that maturity to think, oh yeah, he is the cause of all causes. He is the supreme Lord, and he is responsible for what we have, this material world, the spiritual world, all that they are not able to perceive. They consider him, yeah, he's just one of the historical personalities. That's all. The Lord, however, descends to attract all by his specific transcendental pastimes, and thus he plays the part of the most perfect master, friend, son, and lover. His transcendental relationship with Arjuna was friendship, and therefore he played his part perfectly, as he did with his parents, lovers, and wives. While playing in such perfect transcendental relationship, the devotee forgets by the internal potency of the Lord that his friend or son is the supreme personality of Godhead, although the devotee is sometimes bewildered by the acts of the Lord. So for most of the time, Arjuna will forget about the fact that Krishna is the supreme Lord. Otherwise, how would he would have that intimate pastimes, like Lord is going to sleep on, he's going to put his, see, both of them, I was told that Krishna, if he is with Arjuna, he will never sleep with his wives like Rukmini and all in Dwaraka. Whenever Arjuna is there, he will sleep with Arjuna only, it seems. So that much close they are. And when they sleep together, how, your hands will go on his chest, your legs may go on his chest. It will be like that, right? And they were so close, it seems. And Krishna, he showed to one of the persons, look at Arjuna sleeping, and when he's sleeping, look at his hair standing on the standing, and it is and his mouth all the time saying Krishna, 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 all the time. Just look at this boy. That is why I'm close to him. That is why I'm bound by his love and affection. How can I, this is the sort of relationship I have with this guy Arjuna. He's so intimate to me that I can do anything for this devotee Arjuna. So, when such a relationship is established, imagine now Lord is gone, right? How much desperation Arjuna will be. He has seen Arjuna, he has been in and out with Krishna, and now Krishna is not there anymore. So what are the feelings of separation and devotee will have towards the Lord? When somebody has showered so much affection on you, even in our material life, your parents, they would have showered so much love upon you, or your husband, I don't know, your children. How much, and when they are not in town, you feel a separation, right? You feel that separation from that person. Physically, you feel, oh yeah, I wish you were there. You used to help me so much, used to pamper me so much, and now you're not there. I feel that separation. Even in this material world, we are feeling that. And imagine, we are talking about spiritual relationships. Spiritual relationships means there is no expectation. See, your husband may do something for you, thinking, oh yeah, she will cook for me, so it's okay, I can do something for her. There's always that expectation, right? In a material relationship, how much amount of love you have, it is not like without expectation. Some expectation in the bottom of the heart you will have towards that person. Oh yeah, he will do this to me. If I do this, he will do something else to me. And if he doesn't do that, you will go and fight with him. So this is what is material relationships. But in spiritual relationships, it's only pure love. He does something to me, he doesn't do something to me, he gives something to me, that doesn't matter. How much blissful it is if we are put through that situation where we don't expect anything from that person, only love is exchanged between the hearts. How that relationship will be. That is conveyed here, dear devotees. And then he says, while playing in a perfect transcendental relationship, the devotee forgets by the internal potency of the Lord that he is the friend or son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although sometimes the devotee is bewildered. After the departure of the Lord, Arjuna was conscious of his great friend, but there was no mistake on the part of the Arjuna, nor an ill estimation of the Lord. Intelligent men are attracted by transcendental acting of the Lord with a pure, unalloyed devotee like Arjuna. In the warfield, so this is a good pastime. That is being talked about here. Basically, Jayadratha was the only person left, and Arjuna had to kill him. Okay, and the horses, they all wanted water. So at that time, what Arjuna did was he shot an arrow, and then water came from that thing. This is like a semi-finals. Okay, Arjuna is in a semi-finals match with the Kauravas, and Jayadratha is left. And these horses, they are craving for water. They were like thirsty. I wanted something like they were craving to drink water, and there is shortage of water. Looking at that situation in the battlefield, imagine you are being targeted at any time. An arrow can come and hit you anytime. At that time, Arjuna is thinking about these horses, and he wants to, get the waters to the get the water to the horses. For that, what did he do? He shot an arrow, and then water came and Arjuna was doing at the time of battle. This is very important, dear devotees. And Krishna is taking care of the horses. He's patting them. He's giving water to them. And look at it. In the battlefield, anyone can take advantage of killing Arjuna or Krishna, but nothing happened to them. Why? Because this is the mercy of Krishna. It is Arjuna's expertise. He drew a sort of boundary, by that arrow, that no arrow could come through. And Jayadratha, he was very far away, it seems. So they had to go and attack Jayadratha, who was very far away. So this is what Arjuna is recollecting. I was remembering how Krishna took care of me during that time. It was such a critical moment. Anything could have happened to me while I did this act. But Krishna was there to protect me. Krishna was there to take care of me. Like that, Arjuna, each and every, this particular chapter, dear devotees, is so relishable in the sense that Arjuna is feeling that gratitude, right? It's all about gratitude. How much gratitude we have in this world, right? So it's all about that. And if we have this gratitude, even an enemy will become friend towards us. And this gratitude will come only with good sadhana. Because otherwise we will not even be grateful for anything this world has to offer, or anything that people have to offer us, right? Every day we are grateful that we are getting Krishna, getting to hear Krishna Katha. It's Krishna's mercy. It's my spiritual master's mercy. Because of his mercy only, I'm able to listen to Krishna Katha. If I have one bit of tinge of love that my spiritual master have towards that Lord, if I have that one bit of love he has towards the Supreme Lord, then my life is set. Even whatever I am speaking now is due to his grace. Without him, I will not be able to utter a word. This is gratitude. So we have to be grateful at all points in time, dear devotees, whether it is happiness or dukkha. Why dukkha also we have to be grateful? Why? Because we have to understand somehow this dukkha is teaching me an experience to come close towards the lotus feet of the Lord. Many incidents have happened in my life which made me to think what kind of person I am, which made me to introspect my life, which made me to understand, oh, this is what I am. This is what I am, how much I need to change. Those incidences have taught me a lesson, even though it was very bitter to accept the fact. But when I accept it, then I understand how grateful I am towards the Lord. He's trying to change me. He's trying to make me come closer towards his lotus feet. If we understand that point, then our life is successful. So that is why, irrespective of if it is happiness or it is dukkha, we need to be grateful to Krishna. To recognize what Krishna does for us. To remember what Krishna does for us. And then to reciprocate by serving him, by pleasing him. This is what our day should be filled with. There are so many instances in Bhagavatam which shows gratefulness. So many instances. But let's talk about the gratefulness part a little later. Maybe I'll quote a little bit from Ramayana and help you understand how grateful Varunadev was towards Hanuman, for some incident that happened in his past. So gratitude is such a divine virtue. and all other virtues can't exist without it. Without gratitude, humility at best is just a theory. Gratitude means to see beyond the present circumstances. Gratitude, it enables the seed of bhakti to grow. Gratitude makes the field of heart fertile, it seems. Gratitude is the fuel engine for dedication. These are specific quotes given by His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. And I just wanted to share because Maharaj has great realizations. When it comes to humility, he always quotes in all the lectures, if you see, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroropi Sahishnuna Manina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. This will always come in this lecture. Only a person who has can give. So Maharaj, he's saying gratitude is a divine quality that no other virtues can exist without it. So without gratitude, humility is at best a theory only. Gratitude means to see beyond the present circumstances. It's just not, what does it mean? It's just not about what is your immediate benefit. Am I getting that immediate benefit from that person? No, it may not be an immediate benefit. You may have to cry and repent for that incident that has happened in your life. But when you look at it long term, what did it help you with? It helped you to see yourself. It helped you to introspect yourself. It helped you to transform yourself. So shouldn't you be grateful to the Lord? So sadhana and seva, Maharaj says, they are like watering the seed. And gratitude makes the field of heart fertile. And deep sense of gratitude leads to deep sense of loyalty. Gratitude is memory stored in the heart. It is not like it's stored in the head, it seems. To the degree we are grateful, we actually can benefit. To that degree we are grateful. When you are grateful, you will learn so many lessons, it seems, from that situation. The whole world is nothing but an experience, right? It is filled with lessons. And if we have a grateful heart, then we'll be able to accept those lessons that situation provides. So there's an example that is quoted here. When you add a little bit of potassium permanganate, it's a chemical solution, the whole color of the solution changes, it seems. The potassium permanganate, when you add, then the whole color changes. Similarly, when you add a little bit of gratitude to any situation that happens in your life, the whole color of the situation changes. And one can have tremendous positivity through that. Isn't it great? It's the whole, the person, see, it's all, see, we are filled with it. We are emotional people, right? We are all, by nature, we are all emotional. And if we just introduce this element of gratitude into our hearts, then the whole situation, even though that person is not doing anything good to your life, at least he's not doing anything bad to your life. If you're grateful for that person for not interfering with your life, that is also gratefulness, right? So any situation, if you were to look at it from that perspective, it will change your thinking. And it'll make your life colorful, it'll make your life happy. So these are some of the things when it comes to gratitude. Again, we'll get through the story of gratefulness a little later, but I just wanted to read what is there on the purport and then explain the relevant things. All right, let's move on. So we talked about Jayadrath's story and the water, the scarcity of water. Prabhupada's purport, I'll read through. In the war field, the scarcity of water is a well-known fact. Water is very rare there, and both the animals and men working strenuously on the water field constantly require water to quench their thirst. Especially the wounded soldiers and generals feel very thirsty at the time of death. And sometimes it happens that simply for want of water, one has to die unavoidably. But such scarcity of water was solved in the battle of Kurukshetra by the boring of the ground. By Lord's grace, water can easily be obtained from any place if there is a facility for boring the ground. The modern system works at the same principle of boring the ground, but the modern engineers are unable to dig immediately wherever necessary. It appears, however, from the history as far back as the days of Pandavas, the big generals like Arjuna Could at once supply water even to the horses, and what to speak of men, by drawing water from underneath a hard ground, simply by penetrating the stratum with sharp arrow, a method still unknown to the modern scientists. We need to understand that only at specific places the water can be drawn. And Arjuna knew where to perfectly point the arrow and get the water. And this is because of Krishna's grace, right? This is the point that we need to understand through this purport. Moving on to the 18th purport. Translation, there's no purport. O king, his jokings and frank talks were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. His addresses on to me as own, O son of Partha, O friend, O son of Kuru dynasty, and all these hearings are now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. He's trying to remember each and every conversation that Krishna had with him, which is making him feel emotional because they are all intimate. Krishna, so these heartfelt things are only understood by a person who's experiencing it. But Srimad Bhagavatam is trying to establish that mood so that we can also understand what those feelings are. Each and every episode of Srimad Bhagavatam, that's what it does. Basically, it is transforming our hearts. Even a stone-hearted person, upon hearing the pastime of the Lord, will change because he is able to understand what is love, right? A stone-hearted person, he doesn't want to have any kind of love, any kind of relationship with anybody. He says, oh yeah, relationship means suffering. To such a person, he is able to, Bhagavatam is able to teach Krishna is that one person whom you can have love, unconditional love, and it will, ye tamam prapatyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. Whatever you do, Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. If you show a teeny tiny bit of love, then Krishna will give teeny tiny bit of love. If you show this much, Krishna will show that much. So he will go above and beyond what you do. Of course, that is there. But I'm just saying, according to the mood with which you worship, as I told you, depending upon the sadhus we associate with, we will get that kind of devotion to the Lord. See, we are all Gaudiya Vaishnavas and we have gathered and we want to worship that Vrajendrananda Krishna, right? Krishna in the Vrindavan is whom we want to worship. If you come with the other class of devotees who worship Aishwarya Bhava of the Lord, then we will also develop that kind of devotion towards the Lord. So it is depending upon the sadhus whom we associate, we can get that kind of love towards the Lord, isn't it? So sadhus play a very, very important role in a devotee's life. And depending upon, if the devotee is very serious, and if you're associating with that kind of devotee, then you will also be serious towards your bhakti. That is why every devotee is asked to associate with an advanced devotee so that he can imbibe their mood. Of course, it's very difficult to get association of advanced devotees, but at our best, we should at least be with devotees who are little elevated. By their speaking, we can understand if that devotee is elevated or not. If they are able to, in two minutes, one person can judge how much of devotion this person has. So through speech, we can identify to an extent what kind of devotee a person is and whether or not we can associate with that person. But anyways, coming back to the translation from 19, it is said, generally, both of us used to live together, sleep together, and loiter together. At that time of advertising oneself for acts of chivalry, sometimes, if there were any irregularity, I used to reproach him by saying, my friend, you are very truthful. That means he was not truthful, right? Whenever we say somebody is truthful, then we understand, okay, that person is not truthful. That is when we'll reproach that person to say, yeah, sarcastically we'll say, yes, this person is truthful. That's what is being quoted here. Even in those hours, when his value was minimized, he being the supreme soul used to tolerate all the utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses his son. So this is how he's sharing his most intimate details here, and he's helping us to understand that Krishna, being the Supreme Lord, he's all perfect. His transcendental pastimes with pure devotees never lack anything in any respect, either as a friend, son, or lover. The Lord relishes and reproaches of friends, parents, or fiancés more than the Vedic. Sorry, Lord relishes the reproaches of friends, parents, or fiancés more than the Vedic hymns offered to him by great learned scholars and religionists in official fashion. This is Krishna. Our Krishna, he loves intimate relationships, sweet kind of exchanges a devotee has, right? And this is possible only when we establish a relationship with the Lord. This kind of relationship and exchanges is not possible between us and Krishna. We cannot imitate that. We cannot, Krishna is my friend. I'm not going to offer bhoga to him today. It's okay because he's my friend. He'll understand that. No, we cannot do that. That is why we have been given a prescribed set of rules and regulations by our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, and we are supposed to follow through that. Till we get it to Asakti, till that stage, we cannot get into Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti means what? Raganuga Bhakti means following the footsteps of the Vrajavasis. That can happen, that too, it has to happen spontaneously due to eagerness, right? And that can happen when? Only during the stage of Asakti. So till that time, we have to do devotional service to the Lord and follow the Vaidhi Bhakti. Till that time, we cannot artificially imitate and say, yeah, Krishna is my friend. I'm going to reproach him. I'm going to not give him bhoga. All this is imitation. This is Sahajya mentality. We are supposed to avoid all this. We are supposed to worship him in the mood of, he being the supreme personality of Godhead, till the time we get into the platform of Raganuga Bhakti spontaneously. And that Bhakti cannot be imitated. So this is very important, dear devotees, because a lot of them are, we should not misunderstand what is being taught to us. And we should definitely stick to the rules and regulations, follow Vaidhi Bhakti very strictly. Very sadhana has to be very, very sincere and very, very strict. There is no exception anytime. We cannot take it for granted, because what does Prabhupada say? Prabhupada says, if you're chanting your rounds properly, if you're doing sadhana sincerely, then you can get over from Maya for that day. You can keep yourself, because you have to either surrender to Krishna or surrender to Maya. When you don't do enough sadhana, you won't have strength to fight against Maya. How you can fight against Maya? Only when you have sufficient, only when you have the strength of the sadhana, this sadhana can fight against this Maya. Otherwise, we will be allured, we'll be bewildered. We will just say whatever the mind says. Yes, no problem. I'll just take a little bit of non-ekadesi prasadam on an ekadesi day. Now it will say, okay, no problem, because sadhana is not great. You're getting tempted and you just give up, basically. So hence, at all points in time, we have to be reminded of the fact that Maya is trying to capture us, Maya is trying to allure us, but we have to be sincere. Your service attitude should overcome and fight with Maya and say, at that time, when the fight is happening, the service, I have service, that is more important than getting succumbed to Maya. This attitude of service should, be so strong that it should be able to overcome the power of Maya. That is also a very important lesson, dear devotees. Now, I'll just talk quickly. Maybe we have another 5 minutes or so. I'm so sorry, dear devotees. Little bit, I got delayed with the whole day today. When one thing goes, out of time and everything just follows along. So I'm really apologetic for that because got a little bit delayed by time today. So bear with me on that. So Hanuman, as I told you, I'll tell you about the story. It's a very interesting story from Ramayana. We all know Hanuman, he's a great personality and he is also not free of difficulties. If you look at Lakshmana, he was also not free of difficulties. If you look at Bharata, he was also not free of difficulties. So Hanumanji, definitely, he is also another personality. Their life is not an easy path. The Pandavas, the Prahlad Maharaj, any devotee you pick, their life is not easy peasy. In fact, the life of the devotees who are not, it is the life of, when you look at these devotees who are not devotees, their life is more difficult because they are constantly slapped by Maya. Different manifestation of Maya allures them and they are constantly slapped by them. And now, if you look at Hanumanji, he considers there is a benefit also. Benefit can also be an obstacle, it seems. That is what we're going to see now. So in case of Hanumanji, he was going through a lot of challenges. In order to cross the ocean, he had to go through a lot of challenges. And like Hanumanji, we'll also be facing a lot of challenges to do bhakti also. And what one needs to estimate is that whatever be it, whether it is actually favorable or not favorable, how we should be determined like Hanumanji. So now we can see Hanumanji is going to get a benefit. Okay. And he's telling that this benefit that is coming to me, that is also an obstacle only. In Sundarakanda, Hanumanji is flying and Valmiki is telling us this great Hanumanji, as he's flying, he is the tiger among the monkeys. He is the one who can jump from one place to another like that. With just a heartbeat, he can do that. Suddenly, the demigod of the ocean named Sagara had a desire to help help Hanumanji. And he actually, what happened was, there is a story connected to this. Sagara's sons, they were actually helped by Hanumanji and Hanumanji's family. That is why the ocean god, he felt, he helped me at some point in time, and I have to reciprocate to him so that I can express my gratitude to him. This is how the ocean god came to him and asked him, oh, let me be of help. Let me do something for you, because we've been benefited by you and your family. We want to offer this back to you. And Hanumanji, he's in a mission. He's in a mission to go and look out for Sita. So he didn't want to have any distractions. The ocean god wants to offer this gratitude to Hanuman, who's the son of Vayu. And thinking him to be, because Vayu did something to him, he wanted to say, yeah, because Vayu, your father did something to me. I want to offer that, show my gratefulness to you instead. So I have made some arrangements for you, Hanumanji. Why can't you take your journey comfortably? So Sagara is saying, see, I'm full of water, but you need a place to rest. So what I can do is, I can turn this, there's one of the mountains there here, and I can bring this mountain to you so you can rest in the mountain. Her name is Mainika. She's the best of the mountains. And since I'm water, you cannot stay and take rest, in my abode, but I can just arrange this mountain for you so you can take rest there. And Hanumanji was like, you are doing a fantastic service, mountain. He's telling to, Mainika, you have the capacity to grow. You can come from below. You can do all these good things. This ocean god Sagara is telling, yeah, this Mainika is a fantastic mountain. She can do a lot of things for you. She can just make you feel so comfortable. And you know what? You should not miss this chance. Please make use of this particular chance. And he says, this is what I can offer for you. Please just, I would be very happy, because the kings of Ishwaku are very worshipful for me. You are the servant of Ramachandra, who belongs to the Ishwaku dynasty. I would really appreciate if you could take rest here and then move towards your mission. And Hanumanji, he couldn't, obviously he's on a mission. And when he's on a mission, he's not able to think about anything but the mission. This is the determination of Hanumanji. We have to learn from his determination, and we also have to learn the attitude of gratefulness. How this ocean god is grateful, isn't it? He did something, was done by his ancestors at some point, and because of that, he wanted to reciprocate to Hanumanji. So this is also a very important principle. We should be always grateful. If somebody is doing some little thing to you that can grow your devotional service, you should be very grateful for that person. Even though that person may say, yeah, it's not me, it's only Srila Prabhupada, it's only, because he doesn't want to take, a devotee never wants to take credit for anything he does. Because again, we all understand, if we say, I did this, that means it's your false ego. But if I say it is my spiritual master who did this, it is Krishna who did this, then there's no false ego there. That is why we have to say, we have to attribute to the circumstance. Why? Because every time when you say I, what does it mean? That means you're full of false ego and pride. Nothing but false ego and pride. It's all about thinking always about you. How can I benefit from the situation? How can I get glorification? How can I, I do the seva? It's not about us doing seva. Even when it comes to seva, how unitedly we are doing as devotees. How we are able to share and do it. How we are able to relish each other's association and serve Maharajas. This is important. It's not only about us. It's about, you have to think about Krishna's happiness. Krishna will be happy if devotees join together and do it as a congregation and not get individual praise. Oh yeah, this Mataji. No, we are not looking for individual attention. This mood should go. Then only we are progressing, dear devotees. Anytime, even in spirituality, there is a lot of issues devotees are facing. They are not even able to understand that they are having these difficulties. They are thinking, yes, seva, I should grab. But how we are grabbing, that may not be pleasing to Krishna. If 5 devotees join together, if they also want to perform, let's all do it together. That mood, that open heart has to be there. This is what Krishna likes. So whenever we are doing, be it in the material world, be it in the spiritual, be it in the spiritual devotional service, this mood of service has to be always there, where we have a broad heart and where we are trying to come together and be able to relish the devotional service in the, in a loving mood in the association of devotees. This has to be there. Then we are going in the right track. I think with this, we will stop here. I know we have 1 more minute to go, but I don't want to take much of your time. Let's leave it for question and answers. Thank you, dear devotees. I'm really sorry again, as I told you, got delayed with, I think, yeah. Anyways, it's a lesson to learn. I'll try to be more organized the next time, but thank you so much for bearing with me. Vancha kalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrind ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kaura Bhakta vrind ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for your time and association. I do know that you have a very busy schedule and it's a weekend and you have a family and the children needs your attention. But in spite of all that, you're giving your time, precious time to us and making us relish all these beautiful pastimes and all these beautiful stories. So thank you very much. Just a small question. So Mataji, then Hanuman did not take the shelter from the mountain. He just said, no, thank you very much. I am on my way. Is that
correct? Correct. You got it right. Yes. He, Mainaka makes a, it is such a beautiful exchange, Mataji. Mainaka will talk and then how Hanumanji responds. And then Mainaka will also say, you know what, it was not only the ocean god who has connection with your family, even I have connection with you, Hanumanji. And then she will say that, you know what, what happened was at an earlier point in time, I used to have ability to go wherever I want. I had these wings and I could just rise into the sky and fly wherever I wanted. And then through this process, what happened was I was destroying the lands, farmlands, rivers, people, animals, and crushing everybody. So through that process, the mountains, Indra was not happy with this. As a result, what happened was we were not given the ability to fly. The mountains, they had to be in one place. This is what Indra took his thunderbolt and started cutting the wings of all the mountains and made them stationary. Indra's eye fell on Mainaka, but Mainaka and Vayu, they were great friends. So Vayu wanted to help Mainaka, and by the great strength of the winds, it blew away Mainaka towards the ocean and made him go. The Mainaka went underwater because of Vayu, so that Indra could not cut his wings. And hence Mainaka was saying, you know what, I'm so grateful to you. This is also something that I wanted to convey, because I'm grateful, because I'm a great recipient of the mercy of Vayu, and you are Vayu Putra. I want to offer my gratitude towards you. Please accept my gratitude. I'll do whatever you want to have a very, very comfortable position. In any capacity I can do. Please oblige by accepting this offering, which I'm giving with love. So this is how Mainaka says, and then Hanumanji is saying, yeah, I'm very pleased you have offered me the hospitality. Please let go of any unhappiness or dissatisfaction that I am not waiting on your peak. Please let go of that. I'm very happy to receive your hospitality. Thank you. I receive your words. Sometimes we may not be able to accept someone's hospitality for whatever reason. But the fact that they even uttered the words of hospitality, it must be taken as valuable as the act itself. So Hanuman said, I accept your hospitality. Thank you. But then he's going to offer his reason why he cannot wait. He's saying, I'm in a rush. The time I have come to finish. What I need is soon approaching. Hanuman, I have to enter Lanka before the day ends and before the night begins. Because at night, what happens is the Rakshasas, they all become very strong. And he says, this day is going to end soon. So before the day ends, I have to go. I have made a promise to Sugriva, to Ramachandra. That means I cannot take rest. I cannot stop my work in the middle because I've made this commitment. I've made a promise. I have made a vow. So what he's teaching is, as far as sadhaka goes, no one can slacken. This is the instruction that he's giving us. He's saying, I've made a promise. I have an objective to finish my task. The promise I have made. Before the day ends, I have to go. I'm not able to stop. So now there is so much, again, there is so much discussion that is given by our acharyas, which goes even further. But at least I wanted to tell you this much. So you're able to connect the dots. That's what is the exchange.
Thank you very much, Mataji. I know we have exhausted our time, but is there any burning question or comment?
Mataji, can you repeat the 6 factors of gratitude?
Did I say 6 factors of gratitude, Mataji?
Sure.
Oh, so I just, it is not like factors or anything, Mataji, but I think I would have quoted, gratitude means 3 things. Okay. When you look at the hallmark of a genuine devotee, he has gratitude. The first one is to recognize what Krishna does for us. First one. Then to remember always what Krishna does for us. To remember, we have to keep on remembering that Krishna did it for us. We have to keep on remembering that. First to recognize, then remember, and then after remembering, what we are supposed to do. We can't still not do anything, right? We have to reciprocate. We have to reciprocate by serving him, by pleasing him. This is what a grateful devotee will do. So gratitude means 3 things: to recognize what Krishna does for us, to remember always what Krishna does for us, and then after remembering, we are supposed to reciprocate by serving him, by pleasing him.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I don't see any questions or comments in the group. So can I request Path Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you able to close this session for today? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much, Mataji, for your nice class. It's very nice and valuable teachings about the gratitude, and also how we supposed to be not forget even a small thing. We supposed to be gratitude to the others, and what about the God who is giving everything for our life. So it is very much necessary and important. Also, we always remember that things. Also, thank you very much for your nice story about the Mainaka Parvata and Hanumanji, how he is accepting that one hospitality, but not wait there, because he have a great vision, great work to supposed to be do. So we supposed to learn from that. What is our work? What is our focus? Even there are many facilities are coming, then we are diverted our mind. We are not reach our goal. But as a sadhaka, we supposed to be focus our goal, and we can go for that, not for the wait or we take rest. for the small pleasure. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Or also thank you very much all the Prabhujis and Matajis who is joining here. I request all devotees, please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for glorification of Her Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji. Please join. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mancha kalpa tarujya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji ki jai.
All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare
Mataji
Krishna.
for your time
Hare
and
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.